don't mind, could you share with our audience, which are mainly going to be teens and tweens and middle schools and high schools,
Yeah.
just a couple of your favorite techniques? Like, what are some ways you can practice being compassionate with yourself?
Okay. I hope this will work with the camera because I need to we'll practice it with you. You'll be my guinea pig.
Sure.
Okay. So there are 3 components. I actually haven't shared this yet, but there are 3 components to self-compassion. I'm going to share them first, and then we'll do some hand motions so we can actually remember them, because this always helps me. I hope it helps everyone who's listening. The first one is mindfulness. If you're self-compassionate, you're mindful. And that means that you are able to quietly sit with whatever pain you are feeling and kind of just hold it gently. Because what happens is when we're feeling upset at ourselves, we tend to avoid it and not think about it. It's actually more productive to kind of just accept that something bad is happening, that we're feeling bad, and just be with it and be with it in our body. So I'll give you an example in a minute. The second thing that's part of self-compassion is something called common humanity. So what that means in really simple terms is when you are feeling bad about that conflict that you had with your friends and you think it's all your fault, and you wish you wouldn't have said something, you realize and acknowledge to yourself, you know what, I'm not the only person in this world that feels bad about herself or himself right now. Yeah. Other people have friendship conflicts every day, and there are other people feeling just the same way I do right now. So common humanity, other people feel this way, I'm not alone. Mm-hmm. And then the third component is self-kindness. So finding some way to like soothe yourself. So here's just a little exercise. So first, just put your hands out in front of you and clench your fists really tight. What does that feel like? How does it feel? What does it bring to mind?
Like I'm angry. I'm gripping something really tight. Yeah. Tension,
anger, right? When you're really angry with yourself or you're feeling unhappy. Okay, let go of, that feels better. Let go of your hand, your fist, and hold your hands like this. Okay, this is mindfulness. This is the first component of self-compassion, just physical gestures to help you remember, where you say to yourself, this is a moment of pain. I don't feel good, and that's okay. I'm just going to hold with it. Okay, now you don't have to do these hand gestures, but I just want to help you remember. Okay, so then this is the one where I can't really fit in the camera. So then if you take your hands and stretch them out, you can't really see, but I have my hand like this. This is common humanity. It's like you're hugging in a way, but opening yourself up that, hey, you know what? I'm not alone. Other people feel just like this. So common humanity. And then finally, the third component is kindness. So some people feel a little funny about doing this, but touch is literally soothing for us in our mammalian brain. So if we feel our heart under our hand, we feel the warmth of our hand on our heart. It's just a symbol of being kind to yourself. And this is the third stage of sort of thinking about self-compassion as maybe providing yourself with some soothing words like, may I learn to accept myself. May I be strong, may I be patient with myself. May I give myself the compassion that I need right now, even if I'm suffering. So that's one really quick symbolic way of doing a self-compassion break when something bad happens in the middle of your day. You don't have to go for all the gestures, of course, in front of your friends, but
maybe it helps.
Well, this part I particularly can help, because we respond to touch as mammals. But a lot of adults and teens feel a little bit awkward about doing that, but you might find like a more surreptitious secret way of doing it. Like I used to go into meetings where I had some people that stressed me out a bit. So, and I was trying to sort of soothe myself. So even if you kind of do this in class, you can kind of soothe yourself a little bit without people, give yourself like a little hug without people noticing. But it's a little thing. One of the things that Greater Good has studied is this sort of thing we're talking about. You can give yourself a self-compassion break. Be with the moment, acknowledge it's happening. You don't feel good, but it's okay. You're going to acknowledge it. Realize you're not alone, and then say something kind to yourself.